Hey Savvy Pre-Meds, my friend Todd at the Berkeley Review says when you apply to medical school, you need to buy a box of thank you notes. And if you don't write every single thank you over the course of the year in which you apply, you've done it wrong. And I was reminded of this recently when a student of mine sent me a very lovely thank you note after getting into medical school. And so you can see it's very classy. It says endless thanks in gold. And when you open it up, it's 2 paragraphs of text. It's tailored to me, and it's the kind of thing that both warms my heart and I will always keep as a reminder of this student. And that's exactly what you are going for in your interview thank you notes. And so this is done really poorly by most pre-meds. The rules around it are fuzzy, so we get a lot of questions. So what I'd like to share with you are my 6 tips for your interview thank you notes to make them stand out and help you, of course, get in. First tip would be paper beats an email all day, every day. I'm not saving an email on my office wall. I am saving paper. So write using paper and handwritten. Number 2 is bring the interview thank you cards with you to your interview so you can write them before you go. The information will be fresh in your brain. You can go ahead and get this off your to-do list before you get back home. Number 3, you want the interviewer to receive your thank you before they're done writing up the interview report. So after you do your interview, they're going to write up a brief summary to the admissions committee about how the interview went. If they have a nice, beautiful handwritten thank you note, they're going to be impressed with your professionalism, and that's going to make its way into the report, whether consciously or not. So tip number 3 is deliver your letter before you leave. Tip number 4 would be your interview day is busy, so you can even pre-write most of the thank you cards before interview day. Just so you have a basic template in place, all you have to do is fill in some details. So number 5, what goes in the letter? Well, you want to keep it short, no more than a page, no more than 2 paragraphs, but you want to include at least one personal detail that makes the interviewer remember who you are. So something about, I really enjoyed our conversation about blah, 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 and that way they have that to remind them of you when they write that report. The final tip would be to get the contact information of the interviewer during the interview. Ask them if they have a card and if you can contact them for follow-up questions. They give you a card, that will give you either their address or something about them and how to reach them. And of course, if you don't get their address, you can always deliver it to the front desk at the admissions office, which is exactly what you should do if you have an MMI and you have multiple interviewers. So then you have one thank you card that you can send to everybody that spent their day helping to interview you. So if you follow those pieces of advice, you too can write memorable thank you letters. Check back on our blog, Savvy Pre-Med, for interview templates and some of our tips as we go through this month.